The room was still trembling with silence after Sophie's revelation at the dinner in episode 8. Mark's family sat frozen. Eyes darting between the photographs spread across the table and Mark's trembling hands. Sophie had walked out that night, leaving behind nothing but devastation. Episode 9 begins. Sophie drove into the dark night, her hands clutching the steering wheel, tears clouding her vision. Her chest rose and fell with uneven breaths as her mind replayed the gasps, the whispers, and Mark's stunned silence. She had exposed him, but instead of feeling relief, a hollow ache gnawed at her heart. Why doesn't it feel like victory? Why does it still hurt so much? Back at the dinner, Mark's world collapsed, piece by piece. His mother couldn't look at him, his father's jaw was set in disgust, and his sister shook her head in disbelief. He tried to speak, but no words came out. The man who once prided himself on charm and control was suddenly powerless. Meanwhile, Sophie parked by the quiet riverbank where she and Mark had shared so many memories. The spot where he had once promised forever now felt poisoned. She clutched her chest as sobs broke free, her whole body trembling. She whispered into the night, "I loved you more than myself, and this is what you gave me." But Sophie wasn't the only one unraveling. Mark, desperate to reclaim the narrative, stormed out of the dinner after her. He couldn't let her walk away with all the power. His footsteps were heavy, his pride cracked, but not destroyed. He muttered under his breath, "She thinks she can ruin me? No, I'll make her regret this." The next morning, Sophie sat with her best friend Lily, retelling the events of the dinner. Her voice shook as she described the look on Mark's face, the shock in his family's eyes. Lily held her hand, eyes welling with tears. "Sophie, you're brave. You did what most women are too scared to do. You showed them the truth." Sophie nodded, but inside she felt an emptiness no words could fill. She had shattered Mark's mask, but her own soul felt fractured. "I don't know who I am without him," she whispered, her voice breaking. Meanwhile, Mark sat alone in his car outside a dingy bar. His phone buzzed endlessly, calls from colleagues, messages from friends, all wanting answers. He ignored them. The only message he opened was from the woman Sophie had exposed him with. "What now?" it read. He slammed his phone shut. Even she disgusted him now. Mark's anger turned inward, then outward. He began plotting. If Sophie thought this was over, she was wrong. He had always known how to twist the story, how to make people believe him. "I'll turn them against her," he whispered. "She won't win." That evening, Sophie returned home to find Mark waiting at her doorstep, eyes red, voice trembling between rage and desperation. "Sophie, please. Don't do this to us. You humiliated me. You made me look like a monster. But we can fix this. We can start over." Her hands clenched into fists. She had dreamed of those words so many times, but now they rang hollow. "Fix this. You destroyed us, Mark, not me. You broke every promise, every vow." Mark's voice hardened. "You think you're the victim here? You think people will stand by you after what you did? They'll turn on you, Sophie? You made a show out of our marriage? You embarrassed me in front of everyone. It's not strength, that's cruelty." Tears streamed down Sophie's face as she stepped back. His words stung, twisting the knife in her heart. But deep inside, she knew the truth. "I didn't ruin you, Mark. You ruined yourself." The tension between them thickened, silence cutting sharper than any scream. Finally, Sophie whispered, "Leave, before I make sure the whole world sees even more than they did last night." Mark's jaw tightened. His eyes, once warm and charming, now burned with icy hatred. Without another word, he walked away, his shadow stretching long and dark under the streetlight. Inside, Sophie collapsed onto the couch, sobbing uncontrollably. Every part of her wanted to crumble, but another part, the part that had exposed him, was growing stronger. She realized that Mark wasn't done fighting, but neither was she. The battle between them wasn't over. In fact, it was only just beginning. As the episode closes, Sophie stares into the mirror, whispering to herself, "I will not break, not for him, not ever again." And in the distance, Mark's car disappears into the night. But his chilling words echo in her mind. "You'll regret this, Sophie, I promise." If episode 9 shook your heart, hit that like button, share this story with someone who loves emotional twists, and tell me in the comments, do you think Sophie should forgive or fight back harder? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because Episode 10 will push this revenge story to the next level.